Continuing from the previous episode 397. Chapter 1326. A lesson. Dark clouds rolled across the sky. The enormous battleship slowly came to a stop above this endless mountain range, attracting a countless number of gazes. Everyone on the battleship gathered at the front of the ship. They looked at the precipitous mountain range below and sensed the auras of many experts within the mountain range. Quite a number of people were speechless. This was indeed worthy of being the headquarters of the GU clan. The number of experts had already reached a terrifying number. KK, everyone here is an important guest of the GU clan. Please proceed. Quite a number of people politely responded after hearing that elderly voice resound across the battleship. After which, they moved their bodies and rushed down from the battleship before flying toward the cluster of buildings in the middle of the mountain range. That place was where the GU clan would receive them. Xiao Yan stood at the front of the ship, but he did not move. His eyes were locked on a mountain in the distance. Tian Huo Zun Jie and the rest were standing behind him. Only the little fairy doctor's eyes were locked on the distance. A complicated emotion was present in her eyes. After staring for a long while, the figure on the top of the cloud finally began walking on the clouds. Her clothes fluttered as she appeared like a fairy. She carried an ethereal feeling as she stepped over the clouds and headed over in front of the many eyes. Finally, she was suspended outside of the battleship. The eyes of everyone on the battleship were thrown over when they saw the sudden appearance of this green-clothed lady. A surprise appeared within their eyes. This lady was wearing a pale green dress. Her long black hair was randomly restrained as it spread across her narrow waist. It stretched all the way to her buttocks. Her hair would drift with the gentle wind when it blew over, appearing out of this world. Moreover, her pretty face caused this world to turn. Her alluring eyes were filled with an ethereal feeling, resulting in one having difficulty looking away. After toppling a city, her beauty would topple a country. Extremely beautiful. Such an unparalleled beauty could really bring disaster to a country and its cities. Faced with such a lady that seemed to be born from the spiritual aura of the world, a perfect man would feel ashamed in front of her. It was as though such a person could not be found in this world. A gentle smile was slowly lifted onto Xiao Yan's face as he studied her face with its soul-deep familiarity. Xiao Yan Gege. The green-clothed lady revealed a smile in front of many eyes. Her lovely figure flashed and appeared on the battleship. After which, a gentle voice sounded beside Xiao Yan's ears. The familiar form of address was just like a heavy hammer that struck ruthlessly against the softest part within Xiao Yan's heart. He felt the impulse to violently embrace this person in front of him. Little girl, you are becoming more and more beautiful. Xiao Yan forcefully endured that impulse. He softly laughed, extended his hand, and rubbed Xuan Er's head in front of the stunned gazes of the warriors from the black submerged army. Ji Zhen looked at the lady, who had revealed a beautiful smile. However, he merely gave a bitter smile. He was aware that this kind of smile was something that had bloomed because of this person. It seemed that only when she was in front of this person would the indifferent female goddess Xuan Er truly reveal this young lady-like emotion. This little fellow has actually hooked onto this female goddess of the GU clan. No wonder those fellows from the GU clan treated him like that. However, this little fellow is really too great. That gentle-looking young man from the Yan clan watched this scene from a corner of the battleship. His face involuntarily filled with admiration. It will not be easy. The current Xiao clan is not the Xiao clan from back then. The red-clothed lady with a veil over her face paused her eyes on Xuan Er before softly speaking. Ha ha, you should not underestimate Xiao Yan. Being able to walk to this stage, where even we must view him seriously, from a wasted bloodline clan, is not something that an ordinary person can achieve. It is not impossible for the Xiao clan to prosper because of him. Huo Zan laughed and spoke indifferently. The few people by the side involuntarily raised their eyebrows when they heard Huo Zan high praise of Xiao Yan. However, they did not say anything. Clearly, they did not really trust his words. Xiao Yan Gege, can you accompany Xuan Er for a walk? Xuan Er briefly reminisced about old times with Xiao Yan before she smiled and moved. After which, she rushed toward the mountain range. Xiao Yan behind her slowly inhaled a breath. He was aware that the reason Xuan Er had shown herself to him was because she wished to display her determination to some in the GU clan. Since this girl had acted without fear, Xiao Yan would naturally not act cowardly. Since this is the case, allow me to see just how great this GU clan is. A pride surged into Xiao Yan's heart as he glanced over the continuous mountains that seemed permeated with an ancient aura. He loudly laughed, waved his hand, and led the little fairy doctors group from the battleship. After which, he swiftly chased Xuan-Er. Bang! However, Xiao Yan's sharp spiritual perception caught 10 extremely powerful eyes sweeping over his body the moment he left the battleship. All of these eyes contained an extremely powerful pressure. It was as though even the surrounding space had stilled at this moment. HMPH. Xiao Yan's expression sank as he sensed the change of the surrounding space. These people from the GU clan really did wish to ruthlessly teach him a lesson. Bang! A hot flame suddenly exploded in the sky at that moment. The frightening fire wave spread in a rumbling fashion with Xiao Yan at the middle. That frightening temperature caused quite a number of people on the battleship to reveal a shocked expression. What a powerful heavenly flame! The red-clothed lady called Huo Ji revealed a strange feeling in her eyes. She stared intently at the figure within the fire wave. At the same time, the fire seal between her brows also became hotter. The flame raged and spread. The surrounding stilled space had suddenly split apart at this moment. Xiao Yan stepped with the flame and was suspended high in the sky. His eyes locked onto certain spots within the mountain range. The owners of these gazes were extremely powerful. However, it was really a ridiculous dream if they wished to rely on the pressure contained in their eyes to suppress Xiao Yan. Huh? A surprised exclamation materialized from the mountain range after they watched Xiao Yan break their solidified space in such an easy manner. How presumptuous! Elders, don't you know what etiquette is? Attacking the moment you meet a guest of the GU clan. Are you trying to get others to think that our GU clan is full of barbarians? Xuan-Er's lovely body flashed and appeared beside Xiao Yan as the fire wave surged. Her bright eyes were ice cold as she overlooked the mountain range. Her cold and indifferent voice resonated. Young miss, words are too serious. We have not seen a member of the Xiao clan for many years. Now that we have met one, we ended up becoming momentarily excited and wished to probe his strength. An elderly figure slowly appeared in the sky after Xuan-Er's words had just sounded. This person was wearing gray robes. His face was cold, stern, and old-fashioned. His eyes contained an unfriendliness as he glared at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan stared at the gray-robed old man who had appeared. Clearly, he was one of those who had attacked him earlier. An 8-star Dozun, huh? Xiao Yan's gaze swept over the gray-clothed old man. A fluctuation flashed across his eyes. He coldly laughed in his heart. It seemed that there were quite a number of people within the GU clan who hated him. This trip to the GU clan would not be smooth. Elder GU Qian, today is the day that our GU clan is receiving guests. This act of yours is a little overboard. Leave, you will not do it again. A faint voice slowly spread from deep within the mountain range before finally resounding over the sky. Understood. GU Qian respectfully cupped his hands to the deepest part of the mountain range when he heard these words. After which, he bowed to Xuan-Er and glanced indifferently at Xiao Yan. Then, he turned around and rushed to the deepest parts of the mountain range. Xiao Yan Ge. Are you alright? Xuan-Er watched GU Qian leave before turning around to softly ask. I'm fine. Xiao Yan smiled and shook his head. Xiao Yan Ge. Do you now know why Xuan-Er didn't want you to come to the GU clan earlier? Xuan-Er sighed. She did not expect these pedantic old fellows to not be able to control themselves. They had thought of attacking and deterring Xiao Yan the moment he had arrived at the GU clan. Xiao Yan smiled. He was naturally aware that Xuan-Er did not wish for him to come to the GU clan to be mocked. Hence, she had repeatedly asked him to raise his strength before coming to look for her. Let's go. I already understood what I would face before I came to the GU realm. These matters cannot be left for you to bear alone. You have helped me withstand them for so many years, and it should be my turn. Xiao Yan smiled as he spoke. With his current strength, he did possess the qualification to utter these words. If that elder GU Qian were to attack earlier, Xiao Yan would not allow him to gain the slightest advantage. Xuan-Er was slightly startled when she heard Xiao Yan's gentle voice. She sweetly smiled. She had indeed helped Xiao Yan delay the GU clan for a long time. Fortunately, the current her had dragged it out until Xiao Yan had grown. The current Xiao Yan already possessed the ability to bear all of this with her. A figure was standing with his hands behind his back on top of a steep mountain. His eyes watched Xiao Yan and Xuan in the sky. A trace of black and white hair gently drifted in front of his forehead. A pair of cold demon-like eyes were visible under his hair. This Xiao Yan has finally come. A strange laugh suddenly sounded while a silver-robed man strangely appeared from behind. Ji Yu Yao, looks like the relationship between Xuan and him is quite good. Are you not intending on giving up? The silver-robed man looked at the black and white-haired man in front of him and teased him. He is not a member of the Ji clan. Hence, he cannot be together with Xuan. I will wake him up. The other man's calm voice was without the slightest fluctuation. It was as though he was mentioning an insignificant matter. What if he insists on not leaving? The silver-robed man laughed. The man's eyes were lifted slightly as he muttered, then let him die. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 398. Chapter 1327. Devil General. After that elder called Jiu Qian was told to withdraw, Xuan bright eyes once again swept over the vast mountain range. They finally paused on a green mountain. She could sense an extremely faint but exceptionally icy killing intent. Jiu Yao, if you dare try anything funny, I will definitely not let you off. Xuan clenched her hand as a furious expression flashed across her pretty eyes. Let's go, Xiao Yan Gege. Xuan slowly suppressed the fluctuation within her heart. She turned to Xiao Yan beside her, only to discover that his eyes had also locked on the spot where her eyes had paused earlier. A very strong person, Xiao Yan softly said. With his outstanding spiritual perception, he could sense an extremely faint but dangerous aura spreading from that mountain. Moreover, this aura was clearly targeting him. Ordinary means are useless if one wishes to truly remove some resistance within the Ji clan. Xiao Yan's expression was calm. Although he had defeated Ling Quan and Lin Shu, who were the experts of the Ji clan's younger generation, in Jiu's sacred city, he understood that they were far from sufficient to prove his strength. In the eyes of the old fellows from the Ji clan, defeating Lin Shu's duo would not cause them to look at him differently. Hence, the current Xiao Yan needed to find a peak expert of the younger generation within the Ji clan. Someone who possessed a truly great reputation and make that person his opponent. Moreover, he must win such an exchange. Otherwise, those clan members within the Ji clan, who had remained neutral, might start opposing him. Therefore, he must not fail. It was obvious that Lin Shu's group did not possess the qualification to be called such an opponent. Jiu Zhen possesses quite a great reputation within the Black Submerged Army. However, he had yet to reach the peak level among the younger generation within the Ji clan. Currently, there were only 4 people in the Ji clan who met such a requirement. They were the 4 generals of the Black Submerged Army. Xiao Yan was certain that the dangerous aura from earlier should be from one of the 4 generals. Let's go. Xiao Yan slowly withdrew his eyes. He smiled at Xuan as he spoke. Xuan slightly nodded. Her delicate body moved, and her posture was as alluring and elegant as a flying butterfly. Xiao Yan's group followed close behind her in front of the many gazes around. That man on the distant green mountain with the black and white hair over his forehead stared in the direction where Xiao Yan's group had headed. A faint cold smile was lifted on his face. Ha ha! He is indeed worthy of being from the Xiao clan. That gaze he threw over earlier. You should be aware of what it means, right? He actually wishes to challenge you. That silver-robed man laughed. Challenge, huh? A cow that is just born isn't afraid of the tiger. Jiu Yao raised his eyes and faintly said, tomorrow will be the adult ceremony. According to the rules, I can choose my own opponent. Seeing that he is full of such courage, I shall give him a chance tomorrow. As for Xuan she will understand my actions in the future. Jiu Yao's figure gradually became illusory after his voice slowly sounded. A moment later, he completely disappeared. Ha ha, how interesting. How many years has it been since the younger generation of the Jiu and Xiao clans have exchanged blows? I really anticipate whether this Xiao Yan can surprise us. The silver-robed man laughed. His body gradually became blurry and completely disappeared a moment later. Only low laughter continued to reverberate over the mountain. While being led by Xuan Xiao Yan's group did not head to the special receiving area of the Ji clan. Instead, they stopped in front of a bamboo house in the deepest parts of the mountain range. At this moment, an elderly figure was smiling as he watched Xiao Yan's group descend in front of the bamboo house. Old Ling, Xiao Yan was startled when he saw the familiar figure in front of the bamboo house. He immediately smiled and cupped his hands together. Haha, it has been less than 10 years. It is unexpected that young Master Xiao Yan has already reached such a stage. It really causes the old me to feel ashamed. Ling Ying sighed. When he had been under orders to secretly protect Xiao Yan back then, Xiao Yan had merely been a young and inexperienced individual who had just washed off the humiliation from having his engagement cancelled, yet that youth was now a renowned expert across the Central Plains. Let's go. Please enter first. This place is my training area. Seldom anyone can come here. I think that Xiao Yan Gege will likely not like to go anywhere else. Xuan smiled and spoke. Xiao Yan nodded. The environment of this place was quiet. It matched what he liked. After what he had done, it was likely that he was already a hot conversation topic for the Gu clan. Therefore, he did not wish to head to those places to be observed by others like a monkey. The group followed Xuan and entered the bamboo house. After which, they sat down in the living room. Xiao Yan took the opportunity to introduce both parties. When Xuan and Ling Ying heard that the delicate and pretty-looking Qing Lin possessed the triple jade green snake flower pupils, a surprise expression flashed across their faces. They had also heard about these mysterious eyes. Young Master Xiao Yan, the time for you to come to the Gu clan is far earlier than what the old me expected. Ling Ying sighed. Originally, he thought that Xiao Yan would require at least 20 years before coming to the Gu clan. Astonishingly, he had arrived after about 10 years. However, with young Master Xiao Yan's strength, you do possess the qualification to come to the Gu clan. Young Miss will be able to relax a little with you here. There are many people in the clan that suggest bringing everyone from the Xiao clan into the Gu realm. I think that you should be aware of the intention of bringing them here. Fortunately, young Miss and some elders opposed it. Only then was the thought dispelled from those people. However, this was only a temporary peace because someone brings up such a suggestion almost every year. In order to obtain enough time for you, young Miss had entered a prolonged period of retreat. The Gu clan greatly values their bloodline. The denser one's bloodline is, the greater the weight that person's words carry. Young Miss has continuously undertaken a retreat to bitterly train during these years in order for her words to become even more important. Only by doing this will she be able to suppress the suggestions of those within the clan who are prepared to attack the Xiao clan. The process was difficult. Fortunately, young Miss eventually succeeded. The status of the current her within the clan is such that even some elders would have to greet her when they meet. The decision to attack the Xiao clan had been suppressed by her until now. Ling Ying sighed when he spoke until this point. He said, "The old me is aware that young Master Xiao Yan must have undergone many hardships in order to reach your current level within a short decade. However, young Miss has also put in a great amount of effort." Old Ling, Xuan softly cried out. After which, she shook her head at Ling Ying and indicated that he should not continue to speak. Ling Ying smiled when he saw her shake her head. He said, "This old fellow is like this. I cannot control my mouth." Xiao Yan faintly smiled. His dark black eyes stared at this elegant appearance that could bring disaster to countries and cities. He gently held Xuan hands and softly said, "It has been hard on you during these years. I shall bear all of this in the future. I will resolve the pressure from your clan." A bright redness surfaced on Xuan face as she sensed the warmth that was transmitted from her hand. Her heart felt a little pleased. Regardless of how strong she showed herself to be in front of her clan members, she was still a girl. Her heart possessed the softness of a girl. She appeared to be satisfied that her many years of effort could obtain these words. She did not hope for much. Although she possessed an incomparable talent and a powerful bloodline, she was incomparably persistent and even stubborn when it came to the matters of her heart. The feelings she had developed when she was young had been buried deep within her memories. They had gradually fermented with the flow of time, turning mellow and moving. Xiao Yan Gege, tomorrow will be the adult ceremony within the Gu clan. This adult ceremony usually has nothing to do with you guests who have been invited. However, due to you being a member of the Xiao clan as well as my involvement, this adult ceremony will definitely involve you. Xuan slightly knit her brows and said, "According to the rules, any clan member who participates in the adult ceremony will be able to choose someone to spar with. Some people will likely not easily give up such a fair opportunity. Of course, with Xiaoyan Geg's current strength, there are not many people who can defeat you even within the younger generation of the Gu clan. However, there are 4 people who are likely not included. The 4 great generals? Xiaoyan softly inquired. Aye. The strength of these 4 are all at the 8th star Do Zoom level and above. Moreover, they are said to be existences with the highest chance of becoming the Black Submerged King. Xuan'er's face was grave as she said, among the 4 of them, the one who will most likely target you is the one called Devil General, Jiyu Yao. Devil General, Jiyu Yao. Xiaoyan slowly muttered. He immediately said, the person from earlier should be him, right? Aye. Xuan'er nodded. Her heart was a little surprised. It was unexpected that Xiaoyan had sensed Jiyu Yao's aura. Jiyu Yao's talent is extraordinary. He also possesses an extremely rich Do D bloodline. Most of the people within the clan hope that I will get together with him. Half a year ago, he has also took the initiative to mention this to the Elder Council. However, he was rejected by me. The reason is because of Xiaoyan Gege. Xuan'er bitterly laughed and said, given his character, he will definitely target you during tomorrow's adult ceremony. He clearly understands that if he defeats you during such an occasion, those remaining neutral within the clan will lean to his side. Xiaoyan slightly nodded. The teacup in his hand suddenly formed some ripples. He similarly understood that this was a rare opportunity for him. If he lost, the members of the Gu clan would not think greatly of him. However, if Jiyu Yao lost, those elders within the Gu clan would likely have difficulty finding any excuse to find trouble with the matter between Xiaoyan and Xuan'er in the future. Therefore, this battle with Jiyu Yao was the intersection between paradise and hell. Hence, he could not lose this fight. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 399. Chapter 1328. Meng Tian Kai. The night sky was like water that spread over the land. Cool moonlight scattered down and covered the entire mountain range with a layer of silver yarn. In the middle of the mountain range, a cluster of buildings stood one after another. They were like numerous ancient beasts standing under the moonlight, emitting traces of an ancient aura. At this moment, these halls were well lit. These few days was a festive period for the Gu clan and many places were well lit and decorated. It was filled with a joyous atmosphere. It appeared exceptionally quiet on a mountain far from these magnificent ancient halls. Without the noise, this place was just like the residence of a hermit. It was calm and quiet. A snow-white figure stood on the mountain top in an elegant manner. Her pretty eyes were staring at the well-lit halls without making any noise. No one knew just what she was thinking. Aren't you going to rest? A gentle voice suddenly sounded on the top of the mountain. A green-clothed figure walked out from the woods. The moonlight scattered across her elegant face, causing her to appear exceptionally enchanting. This is the Gu realm, huh? It is actually no different than the outside world. The white-clothed figure turned her head and looked at Xuan'er, who was walking over slowly. The pressure that one has to face here is far greater than in the outside world. The Gu clan relies on the strength of its bloodline. However, it has also become desolate because of it. This Gu sacred mountain range is the holy ground in the hearts of all the descendant citizens of the Gu realm. Every few years, countless numbers of descendant citizens will bring their descendants to this place hoping that there will be someone with a powerful bloodline among them. Each time around, there will be some people who rejoice, but most of them end up with endless disappointment. During these years, I have seen many people who could not accept the blow of having discovered that their descendants' bloodline has been wasted. They end up committing suicide on the spot. Xuan'er's pretty eyes were distant as she looked at the well-lit halls. Her soft voice contained a helplessness that seeped deep into her bones. Since it is strong, there will naturally be a price to pay. The little fairy doctor quietly nodded and softly replied. Xuan'er sighed. She naturally also understood this. This was the price that the Gu clan had to pay for its great strength. Thank you very much for all these years. Xuan'er clearly did not wish to get overly entangled on this topic. She turned her head and looked at the gentle pretty face next to her as she said, "Are you referring to Xiaoyan? I am used to it. I feel quite good to be able to help him by his side." The little fairy doctor did not hide much in front of this girl, who was aware of her inner heart. She laughed in a free and easy manner. After which, she glanced at Shu-en-ur and said, "You should not do as you please and say random words. I like this present feeling and do not wish to change anything. However, he will continue to be obtuse if you don't say anything." Shu-en-ur spoke with a smile. The little fairy doctor was non-committal. She glanced at Shu-en-ur before suddenly saying, "I think that you should also be aware of some things related to him, right?" "What are you referring to?" Shu-en-ur raised her pretty face and asked. The little fairy doctor hesitated for a moment but did not say anything. "Are you referring to Medusa or perhaps Kai Lin?" Shu-en-ur lifted her head slightly. Her pretty eyes looked at the star-filled sky. An unknown feeling was present within her eyes. "You are indeed aware of it. Why do you act as though you are unaware of anything in front of him?" The little fairy doctor sighed. With the information-gathering ability of the Gu clan and Shu-en-ur's current status in the Gu clan, all she needed to do was open her mouth and quite a number of people would deliver the relationship between Kai Lin and Xiao Yan to her. So what if this is the case? Don't tell me that I should become furious in front of him and get him to kill Kai Lin? Shu-en-ur curled her small mouth. The corner of her mouth was curled into a shallow and alluring arc. It seemed that she wanted to smile but ended up softly sighing. She muttered, "Actually, I have a headache over this matter. Other people only hope that I will leave him and even end up hating him over this matter. However, I am aware that this is impossible. Since this is the case, why should I make myself unhappy?" Shu-en-ur glanced at the little fairy doctor when she finished speaking. She said, "I am waiting for him to take the initiative to bring up this matter. At that time, I will be able to act ruthless and punish him, allowing him to understand that a man who is fickle when it comes to the matter of the heart will not end up with a good ending." The little fairy doctor glanced at Shu-en-ur. There was a slight anger on her face at this moment. This matter was just like a furious woman, who had discovered that her husband was secretly having an affair. "All right, I do not wish to discuss such a matter with someone else. Tomorrow is the adult ceremony of the Gu clan. You should also rest early. Hopefully, you will be able to continue to accompany him in the future." The trace of fury on Shu-en-ur's face quickly disappeared as she spoke with a laugh. "What about you?" The little fairy doctor lifted her narrow eyebrow as she asked. Shu-en-ur's delicate and long eyebrows twitched slightly but she did not reply. She waved her hand, turned around, and walked to the bamboo house on the middle of the mountain. The little fairy doctor's eyebrows were knit slightly as she watched Shu-en-ur's back. However, she ceased opening her mouth to inquire. Her body flashed as she followed. The Gu's sacred mountain range had become lively when the first ray of morning light scattered down from the sky. Numerous figures shot through the sky. Various gongs and drums that were filled with joy resounded across the mountain range. Creak. A tightly shut door was slowly opened. Xiao Yan, who had already changed into fresh clothes, swiftly walked out. His eyes swept around the area in front of his room, only to see that Shu-en-ur was waiting for him here. He felt a little embarrassed. "Xiao Yan, Gege, have you rested enough?" Shu-en-ur smiled as she stepped forward. Her hand gently pressed against the creases on Xiao Yan's clothes. Her gentle actions were just like an obedient wife. Should the other members of the Gu clan witness this scene, it was likely that their eyes would turn completely red. During these years, Shu-en-ur was elegant and ethereal, appearing like a goddess in front of them. They couldn't imagine just how heartbreaking the scene of their goddess helping a man arrange his clothes was. Xiao Yan smiled and nodded. He sensed the warm hand touching the front of his chest. A fluctuation appeared in his heart before he swiftly withdrew his emotions. His eyes stared into the distant at many buildings before saying, "The adult ceremony is about to begin, right?" "Ah, let's leave." Shu-en-ur smiled. She beckoned with her hand and a completely snow-white strong-looking single-horned beast flapped its snow-white wings and flew out of the forest. After which, it stopped in front of everyone. The lovely body of Shu-en-ur flashed, and she appeared on the spacious back of the single-horned beast. Xiao Yan's group swiftly rushed onto it after seeing her move. After which, Shu-en-ur gently patted the single-horned beast. It flapped its wings amid a clear cry before turning into a ray of light that swiftly rushed toward the many halls in the distance. The speed of the single-horned beast was extremely quick. Within a short couple of minutes, they had arrived where the many buildings stood. They slowly landed at the middle of the cluster of buildings under Shu-en-ur's guidance. With Shu-en-ur accompanying them, Xiao Yan's group was undoubtedly the most eye-catching. Hence, numerous strange gazes from around them were shot over the moment they leapt down from the single-horned beast. "Let's go." Xuan'er ignored these gazes. She called out to Xiao Yan's group before taking the lead as they swiftly headed to the middle of an enormous stadium covered in an ancient aura. There were many warriors from the Black Submerged Army wearing their black armor around the ancient stadium. Their sharp eagle-like eyes continuously swept around them. Those sharp eyes clearly paused when they saw Xiao Yan. However, they did not do anything else. Quite a number of figures had already taken their seats around the stadium. However, Xuan'er's footsteps did not pause. Instead, she walked toward the seats in the middle of the square. Xiao Yan's group behind her hesitated a moment before following. Clang! Xuan'er's slow footsteps had just entered this area when long spears clashed together. Two warriors in golden armor had used their long spears to block Xiao Yan's group. Xuan'er's expression immediately changed when she heard this deafening sound. A fury slowly rose within her heart. "Move aside." The two warriors in golden armor were startled when they heard the icy cold voice sounding beside their ears. They hesitated a little. "Young miss, there is no need to make things difficult for them. This area is a special place. Anyone who has not specifically been invited by the clan is not allowed to enter. Please understand." A faint laugh was slowly emitted. The calm Xiao Yan swept his eyes around and discovered an old man with his hands behind his back. This old man was similar to Ji Qian. From the golden armored warriors in this region, Xiao Yan was aware that this place was likely a special area. He was not very interested in such an area. However, Xuan'er did not think this way. Since Xiao Yan had come to the Ji clan, there was naturally a need for her to give him the best hospitality. This place was a little eye-catching, and Xuan'er was also present. Hence, many eyes from immediately shot over. Finally, they gathered onto Xiao Yan. Quite a number of their eyes contained a playfulness. "Young miss, elder brother is right. Although Xiao Yan is your good friend, he has not reached the requirement. Therefore," a voice from the side was transmitted over. It was Elder Ji Qian who had attacked Xiao Yan back then. Xuan'er's face was ice-cold. Her pretty eyes vaguely contained a golden flame within them. The repeated obstruction by these old fellows seemed to have truly aroused a fury within her heart. "Ji Qian, Ji Shu, did you two shameless old fellows get it right? The old me is also lazy to bother about the two of you bullying someone. However, you two have bullied my Jianan Academy. Do you really think that the old me is a softie?" Before Xuan'er was about to erupt, a furious curse erupted across the sky. Xiao Yan was somewhat familiar with this voice, causing him to be slightly startled. "Mang Tian Kai?" Ji Qian's duo was startled while Xiao Yan was feeling stunned. Their expressions immediately changed slightly as a shocked voice was emitted from their mouths. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible." Continuing from the previous episode 400. Chapter 1329. Start of the Rites, a space in the sky distorted. After which, an elderly figure appeared in front of many people's eyes. This figure raised his arm the moment he appeared. Two majestic Do-Chi pillars that contained a powerful lightning glow explosively shot toward the Ji Qian duo below. Ji Qian and Ji Shu were extremely furious when they saw this figure attacking as he pleased. Before they could curse out loud, they hurriedly pulled back while wearing ugly expressions. Kai, the two vast lightning glows shot through the sky like a meteorites. However, before they could strike the bodies of the duo, an invisible force suddenly spread. This force coincidentally received the two lightning glows. "Why is it you?" Xiao Yan looked at the elderly figure descending from the sky. He was stunned when he saw that somewhat familiar face because he had discovered that the old man who had intervened and aided him was actually that mysterious old man he had met at the Empty Realm lightning pool. The one that was always saying, "Is this right?" An exclamation was involuntarily emitted from his mouth. Your head. Do you know how to be polite? Call me headmaster." That elder with the surname Mang blew at his beard and chided when he heard Xiao Yan's exclamation. "Headmaster?" Xiao Yan's eyes were a little at a loss. A moment later, he finally recovered. He was stunned as he watched the elder with the surname Mang in front of him. You are the headmaster of the Jianan Academy? What nonsense! Other than the old me, who is called Mang Tian Kai, who would dare call himself this? The old man's beard rose a little. He smiled as he observed Xiao Yan. After which, he extended his hand and pinched him. Only then did he laugh. Not bad, not bad. That fellow Su Qian did not lie to me. He has finally taught a student who appears acceptable. The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth twitched. He looked at the smiling old man in front of him. For a moment, he found it difficult to connect this person to the extremely mysterious inner academy headmaster of the Jianan Academy. I actually failed to recognize you when we met last. After returning and thinking about it for a couple of days, I finally remembered that you are the Xiao Yan. That fellow Su Qian repeatedly told me about you through his messages. Mang Tian Kai patted Xiao Yan's chest. He appeared extremely righteous as he said, "You can rest assured. Since you are a student of the Jianan Academy and a student who meets the strict standards of the old me will protect you if any problems occur in the future." Xiao Yan bitterly smiled. This old fellow really did not appear like a mysterious headmaster. Instead, he was like an old bandit who had just barged out of a bandit's nest. "Thank you, old Mr. Mang." Xuan by the side also recovered from her shock as she spoke with a smile. "It's a small matter." Mang Tian Kai randomly waved his hand. After which, his eyes roamed over Xuan and Xiao Yan. He said with a strange smile, "I was wondering why they have been making things difficult for a member of the younger generation like you. You have actually grasped the most outstanding flower of the Jiyu clan." Xiao Yan's face was a little green when he heard these words. Xuan face by the side also flushed a bright red. "Old Mr. Meng, this is not the Lei clan." The Jiyu Qian duo, who had been forced back by the lightning glow earlier, stepped forward with furious expressions. Jiyu Qian spoke with a deep voice at this moment. Mang Tian Kai glanced at the two of them, but he ignored them. His eyes shifted to an area of empty space as he said, "Old Demon Shan. You should stop favoring these two old fellows. Ordering a person to cause trouble for a member of the younger generation clearly shows that you are a little too narrow-minded. Jiyu Qian, Jiyu Shu, withdraw." The empty space fluctuated slightly and a black-robed white-haired old man appeared in a strange manner. He descended from the sky. He cupped his hands to the cold-faced Xuan before looking at Mang Tian Kai. He sighed somewhat helplessly and said, "Old fellow, since you wish to step forward, I shall give you face this time around." This white-haired old man swung his sleeves after uttering these words before walking to some seats a short distance away. He had never once glanced at Xiao Yan throughout the entire exchange. Kai, still acting cool for the old me. Mang Tian Kai curled his lips when he saw the back of the white-haired old man. After which, his eyes landed on Xiao Yan. He wanted to say something, but merely patted his back in the end. He said, "Little fellow, you are quite bold. You obviously know that someone in the Jiyu clan will find fault with you, yet you dared to come here. However, you can rest assured. Su Qian has sent me a couple of messages. All of the messages have requested me to take good care of you should I meet you. Those old fellows from the Jiyu clan will still give me face here. However, you should understand that you will have to rely on yourself if you wish to truly get those old fellows to see you in a different light. Thank you for your reminder, headmaster." Xiao Yan cupped his hands and sincerely replied. He was able to hear a concerned tone in Mang Tian Chi's words. "Let's go." Mang Tian Kai smiled. After which, he turned around and walked to some seats in one corner. Xiao Yan hesitated for a moment before leading the little fairy doctor's group, who also wore ugly expressions. Finally, they sat in the seats beside Mang Tian Kai. That old man from earlier is called Jiyu Shan. He is one of the extremely experienced elders within the Jiyu clan. His strength is also quite great, and he possesses some influence within the Jiyu clan. Moreover, he is also one of those who resolutely objects our relationship. Xuan softly explained after they took their seats. Xiao Yan quietly nodded. He could sense just how frightening Jiyu Shan was. It was likely that he was at least at the peak of the Do Zun class. The number of experts within this Jiyu clan had indeed reached quite a frightening level. While Xiao Yan was softly chatting with Xuan his eyes had swept over this special area. Those who could enter this place were renowned people from the Jiyu clan. However, Xiao Yan saw some familiar faces among these people. They were Huo Zan's group. Huo Zan had chatted with him on the boat. When Xiao Yan looked at them, Huo Zan also smiled and nodded at him. Xiao Yan returned a smile to Huo Zan. After which, he glanced at the left side of the stage. A group of people were clustered there. Most of these people were from the younger generation of the Gu clan. Xiao Yan saw Gu Zhen, Lin Shu, Ling Quan, and a couple of black submerged army commanders there. At this moment, the eyes of the few of them were staring at him in a gloating manner. Such an expression in their eyes caused Xiao Yan to slightly frown. He had just withdrew his eyes when they suddenly gathered on a corner at the front. A figure with a sharp murderous aura was seated at that spot. This person had black and white hair. The aura all over his body was as cold as 10,000-year-old mysterious ice. One felt a chill over one's entire body when one looked at him. Xiao Yan's eyes were grave as he studied this statue-like back. He could sense a wave of familiar killing desire slowly spreading from the body of this person. Moreover, the target of this killing intent was him. Devil General, Jiyu Yao. Xiao Yan slowly exhaled a breath of air. The fist under his sleeve suddenly tightened. Such a killing intent was the same as the one he had sensed yesterday. Clearly, this should be that Devil General, whom Xuan had said was a great threat to him. As the target of this wave of killing intent, it was obvious that Xiao Yan's every action had been absorbed by Jiyu Yao ever since Xiao Yan had arrived. Xiao Yan's act of staring at Jiyu Yao was probably being sensed by him. This person will be a strong opponent. A solemnness flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes. The most troublesome opponent of the same generation of Xiao Yan was likely this so-called Devil General. Xiao Yan Gege, be careful of him. Xuan also sensed when Xiao Yan had stared at the icy cold back. She clenched her hand. A chill flashed across her pretty eyes as she softly spoke. Xiao Yan slowly nodded. Additionally, the heavenly tomb will open soon after the adult ceremony is completed. You can enter that place with your qualification. However, some elders will obstruct you. Xuan frowned as she spoke. You can relax. I will help speak up for this little fellow when the time comes. It is likely that those old fellows from your clan will not make things overly difficult for him on account of my old face. Mang Tian Kai at the front stretched his lazy waist as he spoke. In that case, I will thank old Mr. Mang. Xuan immediately laughed when she heard his words. Won't you purposefully speak for the old me to hear? Little girl, you are trying to pull some schemes in front of the old me. Mang Tian Kai rolled his eyes as he replied. Xuan smiled but did not refute the claim. It would be a little too wasteful if one did not use such a good bargaining chip. However, Xiao Yan must successfully pass this test if he wishes to enter the heavenly tomb. You should be aware of what I am talking about. Mang Tian Kai turned his head to glance at Xiao Yan. After which, his chin was lifted to ice-cold back in front. He softly said, as long as you are able to last 100 exchanges in the hands of that fellow without being defeated, that will be enough to silence some old fellows. The matter of entering the heavenly tomb will also be much easier then. 100 exchanges? Xiao Yan was slightly startled, but he did not say anything. The fist under his sleeve was gently clenched. This was not the result that he needed. Gong! An ancient gong sound suddenly rang around the stadium when Xiao Yan clenched his fist. The gong sound spread in a mighty manner. It spread over this spacious mountain range. Time's up. Let the ceremony begin. After the gong sound appeared, a calm voice filled with a great might was suddenly emitted from empty space. That voice contained a frightening pressure that caused quite a number of people in the stadium to gently inhale a breath of cool air. A dousheng, a genuine dousheng. A shocked expression appeared in Xiao Yan's eyes as he sensed the pressure that originated from deep within his soul. This was the first time that he had sensed a genuine dousheng pressure. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 401. Chapter 1330. Bloodline Grade, Clan Tattoo. After the vast and mighty voice sounded, 3 Gu clan elders with extremely formal clothes stood up from their seats a short distance away with stern expressions. After which, they entered the stadium. At this moment, there were many tools present at that place. The adult ceremony of the Gu clan was quite complicated because one was only considered fully grown after one had undergone the adult ceremony of the Gu clan. The younger generation could only be considered a part of the core of the clan after the adult ceremony. Even marriages could only be conducted after one completed the adult ceremony. The true experts from the Gu clan have yet to show themselves. Xiao Yan's eyes swept around this special area. Other than a small number of elders from the Gu clan, he did not see anyone on the level of the clan head of the GU clan. Clearly, these important people would not reveal themselves even at such a moment. However, he wondered who that voice belonged to since it contained a Do Sheng's pressure. Although they do not show themselves, there is some vague auras present here. It seems that these important people are observing events despite not showing themselves. Through his sharp spiritual perception, Xiao Yan probed for a moment before discovering strange fluctuations in the sky. His heart felt a sudden understanding at this moment. The ceremony will begin. Ling Quan, the three elders from the GU clan on the square completed their preparations while Xiao Yan was quietly thinking to himself. After which, they followed the list of names and read the first name, which Xiao Yan was extremely familiar with. Ling Quan hurriedly stood up when he heard the cry of the three elders. His body moved and he rushed into the square with high spirits. He bowed respectfully to the three elders. There was naturally quite a number of young people within the GU clan who had become adults. However, those who could have their adult ceremony conducted in such a place were in the minority, and these people were undoubtedly the top among the younger generation of the GU clan. Hence, it was little wonder that some pride filled Ling Quan's face. A stern-looking elder from the GU clan clenched his hand while standing on the square. A 10-foot large star disk appeared in front of him. Ling Quan quickly stepped forward, and his hand touched the star disk as he shut his eyes. After Ling Quan shut his eyes, a powerful glow was suddenly emitted from the star disk. 6 stars slowly appeared on it. The elder from the GU clan nodded his head when he saw these 6 stars. After which, he cried out loud, "Ling Quan, Black Submerged Army 7th Commander, 1-star Do Zun Strength, Grade 6 Bloodline." After a discussion at the Elders' Council, he is bestowed with the Gold Clan Tattoo. It will be the Gold Clan Tattoo. He is indeed worthy of being the 7th Commander. The GU clan members in the stadium immediately emitted some envious voices when they heard the cry that came from the elder's mouth. Joy flashed across Ling Quan's eyes when he heard this. He knelt with one knee on the ground and raised his head. An elder held a flickering golden pen. His hand danced and formed numerous after images. A mysterious symbol appeared on Ling Quan's forehead and a golden light shot out, emitting a special energy fluctuation. Grade 6 Bloodline? Gold Clan Tattoo? What are these things? Xiao Yan was extremely unfamiliar with these things. He immediately frowned and asked Xuan The bloodline of the GU clan is separated into 10 different grades. Grade 1 is the lowest while Grade 10 is the highest. Normally speaking, only those whose bloodline has reached Grade 4 and above have the qualification to participate in the adult ceremony. It is not bad for Ling Quan to reach the 6th grade. Xuan smiled and explained. As for this Gold Clan Tattoo, it is the evaluation that is given after summarizing all the various conditions. This kind of clan tattoo has been inherited by the GU clan since the ancient times. During a critical moment, it will enable the bloodline strength within the body of a member of the GU clan to temporarily soar and enable them to escape danger. This clan tattoo is divided into 4 levels: silver, gold, purple gold, rainbow gold. They are differentiated by colors. This clan tattoo of Ling Quan is the 3rd gold clan tattoo. This clan tattoo actually possesses such a mysterious effect. Surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes as he questioned. It is rumored that the ancestor of the GU clan, who is that existence who had reached the Do D class, created it. After obtaining the clan tattoo, one requires a month in order to unleash its ability. Xuan smiled as she spoke. Xiao Yan nodded. He had merely thought that this was a formal ceremony of the GU clan. It was unexpected that it actually possessed such a benefit. No wonder these fellows viewed the adult ceremony so seriously. It seemed that the reason was because of this clan tattoo. In that case, has Xuan bloodline reached the 10th grade? Is she able to obtain a rainbow gold clan tattoo? Xiao Yan laughed. I never took the test after leaving my retreat the last time around. However, the 10th grade bloodline is also called the divine bloodline. It has never appeared within the GU clan after 1,000 years. Xuan is afraid that she will not be able to reach that stage. As for the rainbow gold clan tattoo, there is likely only one person within the current clan who has it. It has been shelved high above. It has been a long time since someone has reached the qualifications. Xuan shook her head as she responded. According to the calculations of the GU clan bloodline, as long as one is able to reach the grade 9 bloodline, one has the potential of advancing to the Do Shen class. As for the divine bloodline, perhaps that potential will enable her to reach the peak of the Do Shen class. Of course, I think that this will also be quite difficult. It has been many years since the divine bloodline has appeared. Mang Tian Kai in front turned his head and laughed. Xiao Yan was quietly speechless. The foundation of the Jiyu clan was indeed frightening. Next, Lin Shu. While Xiao Yan and Shu and were chatting, another cry had once again sounded. Lin Shu immediately stood up. He bolted down with an excited face. After which, he followed steps that Ling Quan had taken earlier. However, only 6 stars appeared on the star disk. Lin Shu, second commander of the Black Submerged Army. 5-star Do Zun, grade 6 bloodline. Bestow the Gold Clan tattoo. When Xiao Yan saw that this 5-star Do Zun, Lin Shu, was only able to obtain the Gold Clan tattoo, he sensed that it was difficult to leap over the different clan tattoo levels. One's strength was not the main factor. The most important was the grade of their bloodline. Although the both of them had obtained Gold Clan tattoos, the golden color on Lin Shu's forehead was brighter than Ling Quan's color. Perhaps this slight difference was because of their different strengths. Next, after Ling Quan and Lin Shu, members of the younger generation from the Jiyu clan, who were quite strong, continued appearing one after another. However, there was ultimately no one whose bloodline had exceeded the 6th grade. Xiao Yan began to understand that the bloodline grade within the Jiyu clan was difficult to strengthen. Jiyu Zhen, first commander of the Black Submerged Army, 7-star Do Zun, grade 7 bloodline strength, bestow. While Xiao Yan was feeling a little impatient because of the long process, he suddenly stilled a little because of the voice that was transmitted from the square. Jiyu Zhen? Xiao Yan's heart pounded when he heard this name. He lifted his head, and his eyes looked to the square. He saw that Jiyu Zhen was kneeling with one knee on the ground. His face was calm as he looked at the 3 elders, who were softly discussing something. Everyone on the square began to look at each other when they saw the 3 elders beginning to discuss something. Their eyes gathered on Jiyu Zhen. It seemed that this fellow was a little different to the others before him. The 3 elders in the square chatted for a moment before they finally stopped. One of the elders clenched his hand and a purple gold pen appeared. It is actually the purple gold dragon pen. Numerous exclamations immediately rang out within the stadium when they saw the purple gold pen in the elder's hand. After the Elder Council's discussion, Jiyu Zhen has extraordinary battle credits and a calm character. Hence, he will be bestowed with the purple gold clan tattoo. The stern-looking elder cried out in a deep voice. The energy in his palms surged and activated the purple gold pen. He swiftly left behind a purple gold clan tattoo on Jiyu Zhen's forehead. However, this purple gold color was a little pale, but that did not stop many envious gazes from appearing. Based on the bloodline grade, Jiyu Zhen has yet to reach the level of the purple gold clan tattoo. However, his reputation in the Black Submerged Army is very great. It can catch up with the 4 great generals. Hence, the Elder Council has made an exception. A soft voice sounded beside Xiao Yan's ear while he was observing Jiyu Zhen in the square. This voice was Shu and explaining things to him. Xiao Yan nodded. He had made contact with Jiyu Zhen and was naturally aware that this person was indeed someone with an extremely calm character. If he was able to obtain a high position in the Jiyu clan in the future, his achievements would definitely be great. This Jiyu clan really has many experts. It is indeed worthy of being an ancient clan that has lasted a countless number of years. It is old but does not decline. Even though Jiyu Zhen had exceeded expectations and obtained the purple gold clan tattoo, his face did not reveal an overly strong fluctuation. He merely bowed in a respectful manner to the 3 elders. After which, he stood up. His body moved, and he returned to his seat in front of numerous envious gazes. His gaze shot to the spot where Xiao Yan was located when he sat down. After which, he nodded. Xiao Yan also returned a smile in the face of this friendlier action. He was just about to speak when he abruptly sensed that the temperature had suddenly turned icy cold. Xiao Yan slowly slid his eyes over because of this change in his surroundings. Finally, they stilled on the icy cold back in front of him. At this moment, the demon general, who was one of the 4 great generals of the Jiyu clan, had quietly stood up in front of everyone present. However, he merely took one step at a time as he walked toward the square. Is it his turn? Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed when he sensed the surrounding environment, which had become quiet and icy cold. He was extremely curious about this strong opponent of his. Just what level had he reached? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible.